The celery are getting really large and they're doing very well, but they're actually starting to yellow. And this is due to the lack of food in the peat-free compost and the fact they've been in this tray now for a little bit too long. So we've got a couple of choices at this point, and they are very well rooted. So I'm going to go for the option of actually potting them on, which is going to give them more food just by having more compost. But you could also give them a liquid feed. Most peat-free composts have enough feed in them to last around the 4-week point. So as long as our seedlings are potted on in that time, then we won't usually need to actually give them any feed. But if they are starting to yellow and they're starting to struggle, then we do need to offer them a liquid feed of just something quite weak. This can be something like a liquid seaweed or a nettle feed if you've made that last year. What we want to avoid is things that are going to encourage flowering, so we don't want something like a tomato or a comfrey feed. If they are well rooted like mine are, then potting them on into another pot is usually your better option at that stage. When we're using peat-based compost, this will usually be around the 6-week mark, which most of our seedlings only stay in the pots for that amount of time. So the chances are that you won't need feeding, but this is something that we all need to learn as more peat-free compost becomes permanent and we do lose the peat compost off the market. And if you don't know why, it is worth researching. It is very important to stop using peat. As you can see, these are very well rooted, and if I do leave them in now for the next 2 to 3 weeks before they'll be going out into the tunnel, they could end up pot bound. So that's another thing I'm trying to avoid at this point. I did want to also show you the difference between these ones in the soil blocks. So although they have less compost, they don't get root bound, and they are also lovely and green still and are absolutely fine. They will be offered a feed as well now, but the difference of the soil block mix and the nutrients that are in that does make a difference as well. So I'm just going to pot these on into some deeper pots now to give them plenty more space. This is a peat-free multi-purpose compost, actually the organic mix from Durston's. So I've just added a little bit of perlite, which was for a different job, and that'll be fine just to be in this. I'm going to add a little bit into the bottom, just loosen those roots up a little bit because we don't want them to be continuing to go round and round. We want them to fill out the space in the soil that's been provided. Give it a little bit of a push down and add a little bit more to the top. These are now going to get watered, and then for me they're actually going to come out into the tunnel because I do have a heated bench out here. But if you are still having frosts or really cold nights, then we want to take these back in the house. There we go. That's then how they're going to be now until they get potted out in the next few weeks, which is when we'll next look at them.